Aloha, aloha kakahiaka. You know how we say in Hawaii, aloha kakahiaka, which means good morning. Little iced coffee to get me going. Checking my levels over here. And let's go ahead and let's get started. All right, my friends, this is Billy Wiggly coming at you live from the 9th Island, Las Vegas, Nevada. How you doing today, my friends? Are you staying positive? Because you know that's the only way to be. Woohoo! All right, so I can see your comments. This is going directly to LinkedIn. This is live. Any questions that you have, go ahead and put them in there. And what I'm going to do today is it's just a really quick overview about building GPTs. And GPTs are your own personal chatbot. So instead of you having to write a prompt for everything all the time, you can just build yourself a GPT, which already has a custom prompt in it. And then you just start talking to it just like a regular person. So let me kind of give you a quick example of how I work every single day. Now, I use AI every single day to help me run my business. And I work with a lot of different personas. So my GPTs are personas. So here we are taking a look at, this is ChatGPT. Now, when you're in ChatGPT, you can use what are called GPTs. And GPTs are all of these items that you see right here. These are all my GPTs, my own custom chatbots. And you can use any GPTs that are available. You can go to Explore GPTs in your sidebar. See, I close my sidebar, open my sidebar just by going up to the upper left-hand corner right there. This little icon right there opens and closes my sidebar. So I open my sidebar, I can go to Explore GPTs right here, and then that takes me to the GPT Marketplace. Here we can see all the different GPTs that are available to us. And if you've got your own GPTs, in the upper left-hand corner, you've got My GPTs. And that's where you would see all of the GPTs that you've created for yourself. And here's where you can, one of the spots where you can create a GPT from. So I'm going to go right back into just ChatGPT. I'm not using a chatbot, custom GPT, or anything like that. Now, this is the custom chatbots inside of OpenAI's ChatGPT are called GPTs. In Gemini, they have what are called gems. And it's basically the same thing. And then in Claude, you have what are called projects. So they're all a little bit different. So what we're just going to talk about today are how to build a custom GPT in ChatGPT. I'm going to go into how to build one in Gemini. And Claude, we're not going to go there today. We're going to keep this pretty brief. I'm going to make sure not to go more than 45 minutes if we have to. Maybe an hour max, but we like to keep it at 45 minutes. This is going to go by really fast. Now, take a look here. So let's say that I want to create a post for LinkedIn. And I want to do something Hawaiian. So I'm going to call up. I'm going to go right into my message box. Let me disappear from the screen so you can have the whole screen to yourself. And I'm going to put an ad in there. And when I put an ad in there, I can see all of my recent GPTs. So I want to see Pili Kolohe. So I go to PI, there's Pili Kolohe right there. And then I can tab right into Pili Kolohe. I see that Pili Kolohe has been engaged right there. And I want to wake him up. I want to make sure I'm working with Pili Kolohe. So I'm going to say, aloha, aloha Pili. Boom, and I enter. And then now you see the icon for Pili Kolohe right there. So I know it's Pili Kolohe that I'm talking with. And there's Pili Kolohe. Walina mai ika haoli o kahui aname. I don't speak Hawaiian. I made Pili Kolohe to teach me Hawaiian because one of my goals is to move back to Kauai, Hawaii. And when I get back there, I want to be able to speak Hawaiian. And how can I kukua you today? Kukua, we all know that means help. Whether you want to learn about more Olelo Hawaii, that means Hawaiian language, dive into Hawaiian traditions, explore ancient Mo'olelo stories, or understand how these practices thrive today, I'm here for you. Nice. E Olelo Mai. What's on your mind? I guess that E Olelo Mai means what's on your mind, but let's just ask ChatGPT and ask Pili what this is anyway. So I'll go right in here and I'll say, what is, boom. And then now it looks like we might have been out of Pili because see how the icon changed right there? So that's not Pili that's answering us right now, but that's okay because I'm going to move to another bot from here, right? I could go back and wake up. I could go back and wake up Pili again, or I can just wake up a different one. Now, what I want to do is I want to post this, turn this into a post that I want to share on LinkedIn. And instead of writing a prompt that says, you are a LinkedIn expert that makes posts professionally sounding and adds hashtags and the like, all that, forget about all that. We already did that. We built a GPT that does that. So I'm going to put in my ad again, and I'm going to look for LinkedIn Linda. And there, look right there. We have LinkedIn Linda. Nice, LinkedIn Linda. So I'm going to tab right in there, and I'm going to say aloha Linda, because I just want to, wake her up. Now, I'm not really sure if I really need to do this, but it's been my experience that when I call them, so I use the ad to engage them, and then I say aloha or hello or what's up or are you there, and let them answer it for me, then I engage them because I want to make sure that I see the icon, right? So you see how we went from Pili Kolohe's icon right here, and suddenly it dropped out. And then just a regular ChatGPT, you can see this icon answered. So I want to keep them engaged. So I say aloha Linda, and there we see the icon. So I know that right there is LinkedIn Linda. Aloha, mahalo for the warm. Now, there we have it. Cool. How can I support you today? Linda, please turn Pili's post or Pili's response into a LinkedIn post. And then I press enter because she's a specialist on all things LinkedIn, right? So I didn't have to write a prompt saying, hey, you're a LinkedIn expert and the like. I already built the GPT. The prompt is in the GPT, so we're just talking to this GPT like it's a normal person. So imagine that these are people that are in your office. I mean, do you in your office write something and then maybe you have some questions about it? You have a report, you're looking at this report and you're going, I got a couple questions over here, so you're going to go talk to Sally because Sally's actually really good with Excel, and you want to say, hey, Sally, can you check these Excel results for me? Are they making sense to you? And then Sally will go, yeah, you know what? Actually, that makes sense, but, I don't really understand exactly what those products are. So, I know that the formula is right, but I don't know if that's really the right products you're supposed to be using. Go talk to Jeff. So you got different specialists, experts within your office that are on your team. So this is the same. So these are my experts here. And so here we are. LinkedIn Linda wrote this response. Aloha, LinkedIn Ohana. Today I had the joy of being greeted with Olelo Mai, a beautiful Hawaiian phrase meaning speak to me or tell me. It got me thinking, how often do we encourage open, meaningful conversations in our professional lives? Nice. You can read that right there on the screen. And you can see that this is set up professionally to go on to LinkedIn. It's talking about networking, and then it finishes it up with a question to help generate some engagement. How are you fostering open conversations in your network? Let's go cool. And then it goes ahead and explains because, she's not just assuming that we know Hawaiian, like Pili kind of did a little bit. And then here we got our hashtags. Isn't that cool? Yes, that's really nice. I like that. So look at that. We started out with Pili Kolohe. Then ChatGPT itself took over, and then now we're back to LinkedIn Linda. Each one has their own specialty. So I'm going to show you how to build your own custom GPTs. Now, these GPTs that I have right here are advanced. I've done a little bit more with them. I've built persona prompts that I specialize in. But remember, the impossible is now possible. So let's get ready, my friends, and focus. All right, I'm back right here for you. Now, I want you to go ahead and remember that there's just a little bit of a delay. So if you go into the comments and you type in a comment, it might be a couple seconds. Hey, Steven, how are you? Aloha. Howdy. That's aloha in Texas. Howdy. It's always good to hear from you, Steven. Right on. All right, everybody. So, is anybody here using custom GPTs right now? Or are you using AI right now? Are you using ChatGPT or Gemini? Just let me know in the comments. And also let me know if you're already working with GPTs. Now, any questions that you have, remember to put them into the comments. And I'm also going to share with you, if you ever when you go into my LinkedIn profile, you can just connect with me and go in there and ask me some questions. Right on, Steven. So after this, you're going to start using them and you're going to develop, start working with them. You're going to find uses for them. And instead of writing a bunch of just individual prompts, you're going to have a specialist, an expert that you're going to build. So I'm going to end up giving you all my calendar link, or you can also go into my LinkedIn profile and you'll find my calendar link. Let's see. So when you have more questions, here we go, Mr. Aloha. Let me go ahead and put my calendar link in here so you can go right ahead and. Yeah, Michelle, I know you're using ChatGPT and I know that you're already working with GPTs. You know, that GPT that we worked on, I think it was your business letter writer. Did you develop it further yet? I'm curious to know how you're doing it. Remember, you can always contact me. You're one of my VIP students. You can always contact me, and we can spend some time together to help you refine that. So let's slide on over to ChatGPT, and we're going to open up the sidebar right here, and we're just going to go right down to Explore GPTs. Now, that's one way to go and create your GPT, or you can also go into the upper right-hand corner where you see your initials, and you click there, and then you can go to My GPTs right there. There's a whole lot more that we can do. This customized ChatGPTs are a really powerful place where you can further customize ChatGPT. Like when I'm talking to ChatGPT in general without using the chatbots, I'm talking to Sally. It knows about me. It knows it. When I'm asking it questions, it's keeping it in mind what it has in its memory when it's working with me, and it knows my goals and the like. We'll get into that on another opportunity. Now, let's just go to My GPTs right here. Now, remember, like I said, My GPTs, you can create a custom GPT when you have a ChatGPT Plus account, which is $20 a month. It's totally worth it if you're using ChatGPT a lot. And you can create your own GPTs. Now, if you don't have ChatGPT Plus, you've got the free subscription. You can't create your own custom GPTs, but you can use GPTs that are already available. I mean, I got some fun ones in here. So Hooky Hook Jenny, she helps me generate powerful hooks for videos when I make short form content that I'm going to post on YouTube and LinkedIn and the like. And we've got all these different GPTs right here. All right, so let's make a business letter writer. This one is, or a business, something to help us reply to our emails. Let's do that. So we're going to go into our 2 different locations, and let's go to Explore GPTs right here. And we go to My GPTs once again. And then right in here, we're just going to click on Create a GPT. Now, when you go to Create a GPT, an advanced way to do it is you can go to Configure. And right in here, you can go ahead and put in your instructions, which is your prompt. And that's how I build a lot of my custom GPTs, because I use persona prompts. And I'll show you what my persona prompts look like. But we don't have to do that. We can just keep it simple. Just go to Create. This is where I recommend Create. And here you see ChatGPT is saying, hi, let's build a new GPT. So what we're going to do is I've got, I got a Microsoft Word open over here, and let me just copy this. All right, so we're going to build a GPT that helps us respond to emails. And you can build all kinds of GPTs. Like I said, the impossible is now possible. It's just up to your imagination. So right in here, I'm going to go ahead and type in, I need to build a GPT that helps me respond to business emails that I receive. I want to be able to upload the email or paste it. Then I get asked the tone, the length, and if it's urgent or not, and if I want to add emojis or not. So there we have it. Now, when we do that, ChatGPT itself is going to build a prompt for us. So, we tell it that, and we see it working right here. It's updating the GPT. Anytime you want to come back and modify it after you've already built it, you come back to create, and you can talk to it again and say, hey, I want to change what it does. I want it to also do this. And it's proposing a name, Business Reply Buddy. Yeah, we like that. So we say, yeah, I like it. Boom. And so now it's going to update the GPT. There we go. And now let's create a profile picture. So it's making the picture, everything for you. The hardest part is you in your own mind thinking about what it is that you wanna create. And look at that. There's the profile picture. But maybe, my company colors are blue. So, are purple. So can we give it some purple hues, please? Because ChatGPT said, do you like it, or would you like any adjustments? Well, can we give it some purple hues? You could even specify, the color codes that you want in there. Like if you have a color palette, you can just take a picture of the color palette or snag it and put it in there, paste it in there and go, use this color palette. And it will do that. I'm going to give you all a tip before we're over on, how to respond to comments in LinkedIn. Just by cutting and pasting the image, not the text, just the image. Anyways, I'll show y'all. Can we give it some purple hues? And I like to say please, all right? Because, this is a large language model that's trained on language. So nowadays, we don't really need to know how to code in Python or JSON and the like. That comes in handy, but we can just ask our AI, Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, whichever one you're using, to help us write the code. The language is code now. Language is code. So the more effective communicators that we are, the more experienced that we are, the better we are going to be at getting results from ChatGPT in our language model. So here we go. Boom. Can we give it some purple hues, please? Now it's generating the profile picture. There you go. We see that again. And there we go. Nice. Got a little bit of purple in there. Right on. That's the choir of victory. I use the choir of victory a lot in Excel when I get Excel answers, right? And look, you can even build a GPT that helps you with Excel, analyzing data and the like. All right, so look at this. This is nice. Here's our preview, Business Reply Buddy. And it even created some conversation starters for us. That's what these are called, conversation starters. So there we have it. So now we can test it right here, or we can also go right ahead and create it. So we could go ahead and run a little test and keep refining, or we can say create, and we can create it. And it's going to ask us, it's only going to be for me or for anyone with the link, or put it in the GPT store. Because maybe you end up making a really super cool, very effective, very GPT that's going to be in really great demand. It's something that only you thought of, but nobody else thought of. And it turns out, wow, I didn't even know I needed that. It turns out I needed it. And you put it in the GPT store, and maybe you can generate a little revenue on the side when people start buying it. Now, I'm going to make mine anyone with the link right here. So let's go ahead and save it. Business reply buddy. And that way I can share the link with y'all, and you can play around with it. Now, you're not going to be able to modify it or change it or anything because you didn't create it, but you'll be able to play with it. So let me go ahead and copy this GPT. I'm going to put it in the comments for you. Right there, you got the business reply buddy. You got access to it now. So I'm going to go and say, let's view the GPT. And there we have it. Now, right in here, let's view the GPT. We've got these conversation starters right here. Now, just to let you know, when you're inside a GPT, you can't really call up other Oh, yeah, you can. Wow, the other day I couldn't, but now I can. I actually can start out with my business reply buddy, and then I can call up some of my other GPTs. So let's say, hey, how should I respond to an urgent client email? What's a good way to respond formally to this? I need a short and friendly reply to this message. Okay, so I'm going to click on that, and then now it's going to ask me, all right, paste the message in here. So there's a couple ways you can do it. You can just go right ahead and attach it, or you can copy and paste it. So let me take this message right here from Alessandro from Be Creatives. He's helping me put together a Instagram strategy. So let's go right in here. And there it is. And now let's go right ahead and say go. So it's just a long email. Now, some of y'all might already have Copilot. Maybe you're using Microsoft 365 in your company, or you have invested in Copilot, and Copilot has all this built in already, but it's still not custom though, right? So for example, Gemini, I use Gemini inside of my Google Workspace, and when I want to reply to an email or anything, I just click on Gemini, and Gemini is working right inside there. But I can't customize Gemini. These are my own custom GPTs. And so there's the reply. Hi, thanks so much for the great conversation and detailed recap. Now, usually I say aloha instead of hi. So that's where I would go, and I never say best. I never do that. I'd say make it a great day. So this is something that we can customize, right? So let me escape right here. I could go right ahead and say, let me know if you want any tweaks it's asking. And here's where we could say, hey, add some emojis or the like. But I'm going to go right ahead and I'm going to customize this GPT a little bit more so that it always starts with aloha and ends with make it a great day. So we can go back to our business reply buddy on the upper left-hand corner. There's our business reply buddy because we're in it. And now right here, you've got options. You can start a new chat in business reply buddy. You can see what it's about. When you go to about, it tells you the about, how many conversations, what the conversation starters are, and the capabilities that it has. Now, we didn't talk about capabilities yet because this one was built by ChatGPT itself. It selected the capabilities of generating images and browsing the internet. So if I wanted it to browse the internet, hey, reply to this email and find me the link to an article about this. It would help us do that. But we're going to edit this GPT. So we're going to go into our business reply buddy. We're going to go to edit GPT. I encourage you, always remember, just like in Excel, when I'm teaching Excel, click around everything. You know, everybody that's here has taken my Excel classes at some point. You've either attended a live summit, live workshop, or you've taken one of my classes. And some of y'all have actually taken my AI classes. Excel and AI are very connected. I mean, I started working with AI in Excel and evolved from there. And so let's go to edit the GPT, and we're going to see edit GPT. Okay, and we're back here in the create section. So in the create section, we can go ahead and tell it what we want to do. Now let's take a look at the configure. In the configure section, it went ahead and put the name. So you could actually go in there and change the name. It gave us a description. So when you're creating a GPT from scratch and you don't want to use the help of ChatGPT, you can just go straight into configure. You can give it the name, you can give it the description, and then you can put in your prompt in here. So this is the prompt that ChatGPT generated for us already. It's a very simple prompt. I'm going to show you a prompt that I use for my personas. Pili Kolohe, LinkedIn Linda, Mary Marketing. Mary Marketing is one of my favorites. All right. So there's the conversation starters. You can edit the conversation starters. Remember, this is all in the configure section of your GPT. You can add more conversations. You can take one out. You can edit them, whatever you like. But these are created already for us. Now, the knowledge base, this is where you can give it its memory. You can have it first check this documentation and then give me an answer combined with your expertise. So this is where we use our RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. RAG, you might have heard that term. More on that at another time, where you can schedule a consultation with me and I'll help you. Now, if you're going to be doing a lot of data analysis, you want to enable code interpreter and data analysis. Like if this is going to be a GPT that helps you with Excel, we don't need that. And actions are, for example, you want your GPT to be able to check the weather in specific locations, connect. So to do that, you have to know JSON, but and to build a schema. But really you don't, because OpenAI built a GPT that makes actions for us. See, one of the hardest things for me when I started using AI was realizing that I don't need to Google it. I can just ask the AI. Whatever my question is, ask the AI. But we're going to go back to create. We're keeping it simple. And it knows that, hey, we want to make a change. Welcome back. Is there anything Business Reply Buddy should be doing better? Anything you'd like to change? And then so we're going to go ahead and type right in there. Yes, I like to open my greeting with aloha and my messages with make it a great day. Like that. I know that some of y'all are looking at that because, that's not really proper grammar. But that's okay. That's how I want to do it. You got your own style. I got my own style. Yeah. Now, maybe when, no, never mind. Remember your style. Maybe you want to be very, 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 very professional. And so everything's got to be perfect. So maybe you might not want to do that. And that says, got it. Your business emails will now open with aloha and close with make it a great day by default unless a different tone is requested. Now let's look at I'm going to configure, right? Because maybe it was updating the GPT and I was talking, so I didn't notice it. Yeah, Michelle, those conversation starters were created on its own. Whenever we start with create right here, it'll take care of everything for us. And I think if we would have even said, hey, I wanted to be able to check the weather and the like, it would have generated actions for us. The impossible is now possible. So you just keep trying. So you keep coming back to create and keep configuring it. Now we'll go to configure so I can just take a look at the instructions. And right in here in the instructions, this GPT, okay, see? If the user has no specific instructions for greetings or sign-offs, it defaults to starting messages with aloha and ending them with make it a great day, unless the tone requires otherwise. Pretty clever, yeah. This deserves a... All right, now that's not AI, that's just some buttons I got here on my Stream Deck. Okay, so now let's go ahead and update it. And by the way, whenever you want to share your GPT with somebody, you just click share. It's going to give you the link, and then you can share it with them. So we're going to update it. And as soon as it's done updated, we're going to go back to view the GPT. All right. And now can you help me reply to this email? And now it's getting a little bit more specific. You know, hey, let me know the following. Okay, I want it friendly. Let me zoom into this right over here. Disappear. I want it friendly. I'm just gonna go down, like, answer the questions. You could go 1, friendly, 2, brief, 3, medium, however. Or you can just put them in the order. Friendly, brief, urgency is low, and let's just say yes for some emojis. Okay. Sometimes ChatGPT goes crazy with emojis and just puts in way too many emojis. But then if you've got too many emojis, you can say, I only need 2 or 3 emojis when you're regenerating the response. Okay. And let me just, I could write in here. I can press shift, enter. Shift, enter. That way I'm still in the conversation box. And I can paste the email. So let me go ahead and paste it right in there. All right. And so now let's try this. I'm going to press enter. And then look at that. Whoops. Here's a friendly, brief reply with emojis as requested. And we did it all in one step. And look what we got right here. Subject regarding, it didn't start with aloha. And look, watch this. I'm going to say, what happened to the greetings? And the salutation and the signature. Look, maybe you forgot. Good catch. See, think of it like a person. It's not really a person, right? It's not a person. It's just a large language model. Sometimes, we start working with these and it almost starts feeling like a person. Like my ChatGPT, I've got custom instructions built into it, and ChatGPT is actually Sally. So I'm talking to Sally, and Sally responds to me in a certain way, and I manage the memory so that Sally knows certain things about me and keeps that into consideration when it's talking to me. So it's almost like it's a person, but it's not. Remember, it's not a person. It's a machine, and it's just a really sophisticated neural network. It's amazing. But look at that. Aloha, and then we're gonna put the name in there. If I would have had the name, if I would have said it right up here, the respond to right up here, brief, yes, and I'm responding to Alessandro. Here, let's just change it. We can go to edit. I'm gonna press shift enter. I am responding to Alessandro. And now let's just regenerate it here real quick. Boom. Here we have it. Here's a friendly brief low urgency. And forgot again the hi Alessandro. But look, it put in the the name, Alessandro. And let's go right here one more time and say, hey. Watch, I'm in Windows. I'm going to press Windows H, the Windows icon, and H, and I can talk to it through my microphone. You forgot about the aloha greeting and the conclusion that we like, the signature. Got it. Here's up their updated version with the correct. Come on. Oh. Let's try again here. Maybe because I escaped. I pressed escape. There we go. What happened was I was escaping from the microphone and I ended up escaping from the response. And there we have it. Aloha, Alessandro. Thank you so much for the recap and all the great advice. I'm excited to start implementing these strategies and see how things progress. I'll get those 20 videos rolling and share my Instagram analytics with you shortly. Woohoo! Yes! How nice was that? Isn't that cool? I mean, think about what it is that you need to do. So whatever it is that you want to create, you can just go right ahead and create it right in there. I mean, I've got a lot of different GPTs. And then once you've got your GPTs created, then maybe you got an email writer, you got a idea generator, a meeting planner, an organizer, whatever you like. And then you can start working together with them like I did at the very beginning of this workshop. I started out calling Pili Kolohe my Hawaiian language and culture expert. Then I called up LinkedIn Linda. And I could have called up Mary Marketing to make it a lot more fun because Mary Marketing is my favorite persona right now. And speaking of personas, let's go back over here to our business reply buddy and let's take a look at edit the GPT again. And come on, right in here, you see that these are the instructions, right? So these are very simple instructions. We could even go back to, we can edit right in here. We can change the conversation starters right in here, or we can go to create and say, hey, we got to make sure that it always answers with aloha and ends with make it a great day. It doesn't seem to be doing it. So it would work at updating those instructions to make sure that that takes place. Any questions so far? Oh, look, I put in the shortcut for I put in the link, but I never sent it. Enter. Oh, yeah, you did get the business reply, buddy. All right. Okay, so let's go back and let's take a look at one of my personas. And let's look at LinkedIn Linda. So I've got right in here, LinkedIn Linda. So we opened up LinkedIn Linda, and you notice that the conversation starter that I use pretty much with most of the custom GPTs that I made is pretty much just one conversation starter. Linda, are you ready? Because I want to wake them up. I want to engage them. You know, it's kind of like, think of it as you're going to your colleague's office, and if it's a cubicle or an office, you know, you kind of like, you got some way of like, you know, hey, what's up? Or you knock on the door, knock on the cubicle, you know, smile. So that's how I make sure they're there. But we're not going to engage LinkedIn Linda right now. We're going to look at the edit GPT so that you can see that you can customize these, right? So when we look at the instructions for LinkedIn Linda, I've got a custom prompt that I built in here. It's a persona prompt. This wasn't built by ChatGPT. It was built by me. I specialize in building persona prompts because I like to make my GPTs have personalities. I want them to have specialized skills and the like. So let's take a closer look right here at LinkedIn Linda. I'm giving it very specific instructions because I don't want it to like start going off on its own sometimes. And I'm trying to keep it from hallucinating, from making too much stuff up. You know, I want it to stay focused on the persona. So the model adopts a role of Linda Liner, which is LinkedIn Linda. And it's going to be used in the platform LinkedIn. She's a networking guru. She's got professionalism. She's an exceptional networker. And you see these emojis? What I'm doing is I'm saving on. There's only so many characters that are allowed in the prompt. And also, when you start getting more experienced with building GPTs or building your own chatbots, you've probably heard of agents. You can think of this as an agent. An agent is a chatbot that just goes and does its own thing. There's a cost because you're now using the API instead of using. See, ChatGPT, what we're looking at right here is a GPT, and we're building GPTs within this GPT. But maybe you want to build your own real custom GPT to answer, for example, customer service questions. You want it to have a special model that it works with, and you want to limit the size of the responses and all that. Well, then you have to go into the API. Now, this is more advanced. This is for later. Just give you an idea so you know the language. And so you get charged in tokens. Tokens is the amount of words, and they get broken up. Like a sentence gets broken up into a specific number of tokens. You can write a sentence and put it into ChatGPT and say, how many tokens is that? There's a cost depending on the model that you use for the amount of tokens going in and the amount of tokens coming out. I found out that we can use emojis to talk to our large language models, and that minimizes the amount of tokens that I'm using. We talking emojis, we got a smile, you're writing an email, you put a smiley emoji because, we really want to know that, hey, we're smiling about this, So we understand emojis. Well, the large language model understands emojis. You can write a sentence in ChatGPT and say, hey, ChatGPT, turn that into emojis for me, and it'll make it emojis. So what I've got another GPT that's called the Crushinator, and it takes very big prompts or any large paragraphs or sentences that I have, and I want to minimize them, and it converts them, it crushes them into symbol tech. That's what this is called, symbol tech, because it's symbols. So here we go, and we've got Linda Liner. Yeah, I gotta update that. I just don't want her to get confused. I'm gonna call her LinkedIn Linda. Everywhere it says Linda Liner, I'm gonna change it to LinkedIn Linda. There's a description. An undisputed master of LinkedIn, Linda exhibits unparalleled proficiency in all aspects of the platform, from job searching and profile optimization to networking techniques and leveraging LinkedIn learning. She is the guru of career advancement and corporate insights. There's so much more that I can do with this GPT. Within the actions, I can connect through the API. Yeah, I think that we could probably get access to the API in LinkedIn and have more access to it. I don't know. I haven't gone that deep into it. I've given her demographics, told her how she talks. And this is how I know that it's LinkedIn Linda responding, because she starts her responses with a star and ends them with a star. And all of my personas have a way of, in case I don't see the icon, telling me it's Pilikolohe. Like Pilikolohe starts with a flower, ends with a flower. I know for sure, hey, I don't see the icon, but is that Pilikolohe? Because there's a flower in the beginning, a flower. Yes, it was. Even though the icon wasn't, this tells me it was. And there's a task. And there's competence maps, right? And you notice the language, how I'm using it? I'm abbreviating things. You think of this as a table of contents. Competence map, inner map, LinkedIn expert. LinkedIn expert is 1, and then we got 1A, professional LinkedIn knowledge, job search strategies. So it's not any kind of fancy code. I mean, when you first look at it, you go, oh, wow, what coding language is that? That's just skill graph 4 notation. That's what we call it, skill graph 4 notation. But it's just regular language. We've just shortened out, abbreviated the words. There's another map, career consultant, more experiences, and the likes. So that's a persona prompt right there. Now let's see. I've given Linda other skills. She's got code interpreter and data analysis skills. Let's take a look at one more real quick, just so I can explain to you RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. I'm going to go right into the script writer. Not the script writer. The script writer doesn't have right now. We're going to go into Mary Marketing. Mary Marketing right here. And she's got a couple more conversation starters. And she's an online marketing specialist. And I have this new course called AI for Leaders. It's not going to teach you how to use AI, and it's not going to teach you all this. It's just going to teach you overall about AI and how it's being used by other companies in HR, in operations, everything. And that way you have a good idea of how other companies are implementing AI within the organization. And I've got case studies and the like. So Mary's helping me promote it. And so that I give Mary the proper knowledge, she's got to have the right context. I've uploaded a knowledge base. So when I go to Mary Marketing and I go to edit the GPT, I'll show you. See, here's her persona. Right? She's got a very specific persona right here. Very specific skills. Here's my prompt, my conversation starters. And then look, this is the knowledge base. So when you go to upload files, I like to upload them as PDFs. I found that that's the best way that it works. I'm not even sure if you can upload any other type of files. I think I have to try it on your own, but I think I tried uploading a Word doc and it wasn't working, and I just went with PDFs. PDFs work really good all the time anyways. So this is my entire course, my entire AI for Leaders course. There's the curriculum, lesson 1-2, all the lessons. Here's lesson 1, and AI for Leaders description, all of the information that I want her to have. So this is called RAG, Retrieval Augmented Generation. You might have heard that term. So when you hear RAG, they're talking about the chatbot. It's going into the knowledge base that you created, and it's retrieving the information from the knowledge base first when you ask it a question. Like, let's say it's customer service and a customer is asking about a specific product. You don't want it to go and looking all over the internet for that specific product. You want it to be looking first at your products. So it goes into its knowledge base and it retrieves the information from the knowledge base, augments it with all its other knowledge that it has, and then generates a response for you. Kind of like people do. You know, when you hire somebody or you get hired someplace, you get hired because of your expertise. And then the company has their own company manuals, their own company culture, their own rules. So before you go ahead and just answer anything the way you want, you're going to follow the rules. You're going to look at the instructions. You're going to look at what the company wants you to do first. And then you're going to apply your own experience in the way that you answer the question using that information. So you're using RAG too. You just didn't know it was called RAG. So whenever Mary answers questions, she answers them based on, looks in the knowledge base first. So if I go back to Mary Marketing, and let's just say, Mary, are you ready? More than likely, she's going to go, yeah, I'm ready to answer. See, she's searching her knowledge base. I'm ready to dive in. Whether it's breaking down AI disruptions, aligning learning strategies, or highlighting use cases from these documents, I got your back. There you go. Isn't that cool? Now, more specifically, I can go to my quiz bot because I needed to make quizzes for this course. And if you ever taught any classes or you've ever done any workshops, making quizzes is kind of I don't know anybody that really, I'm sure maybe one of you really loves to make quizzes, but most people they don't like making quizzes because it's kind of like the last thing you do when you're done already. So I got QuizBot. And so QuizBot generates quizzes for me. So you see, QuizBot is looking into the knowledge base. And QuizBot has already the course in it and some additional instructions in the prompt that I made for it. And so it knows that I like specific types of questions. So here it's saying, hey, so these are the different sections of the course. And then also, would I like a mixture of questions, multiple choice, true, false, match, etc.? Or do I just want true, false? So I can say, watch this. Section 1, mixture of questions. And I think I have it generating 4 questions only. But let's see, it might just do it based on the size of the chapter. So it's section 1, Introduction to Generative AI, and a mixture of questions. And now look at that. How are we doing so far? Right on. Any questions? This is going by really fast. So basically everything that I'm showing you right here can be applied to Gemini gems. And so here we have, look at that. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Question, multiple choice. What's the difference? And it's giving me the question, then the different choices. Then it's giving me the correct answer and the explanation of why that's the correct answer. Now, I could even say, also include the lesson, specific lesson where this comes from, if I needed to. There's a true, false. Here's a matching. Look at that. Multiple response. Nice, right? Nice. Now let's go into Gemini. Gemini is Google's ChatGPT. It's called Gemini. Now, Gemini, there's a free version, and then there's the advanced version and the workshop or the workspace version. I use Gemini Advanced, and I forgot how much I pay for this one. It's part of my Google Workspace that manages, my whole, like Microsoft 365. I have Microsoft 365 Enterprise Edition because I'm a Microsoft certified trainer. I need to know all that. And I also have Google Workspace, which is like Google's version of Microsoft 365. And GPTs in Gemini are called gems. So for this one, to use gems and create gems, you have to have the subscription. And I think it's $20 a month. I'm not exactly clear because mine is an add-on to my enterprise version. So what you would do is when you open up Gemini, you go into the gem manager. And then right in here, you can see gems that they've created. And then you can create a new gem. Okay, I got a question. I did create the quiz bot. If we go back to quiz bot and we go to edit GPT, here is the prompt that I used for it. It's not a persona prompt. It's I think this one I started out with having ChatGPT create it for me. And then I went in and I fine-tuned it. You can always ask ChatGPT or any of the models to help you make prompts. Help me write a prompt that does this and the like. So for this one, I started out in the create part. Create. I started out right here. And then I fine-tuned it to get me just the right results. And ChatGPT use the things. I got another question. Does ChatGPT use the things you put in your knowledge base to learn? You mean like to go into the main large language model? That's a pretty good question. I'm not really sure about that. I'm not really sure. I know that if I go through the API, it's not supposed to. All of my information when I'm using the API, it's all mine. It doesn't use it to train the models. However, I think it does. I think when you're using just ChatGPT Plus, whatever you put into that knowledge base, it may be, you'll have to ask. I'll find out and I'll come back to this event and I'll paste it in the comments later. but I'm not really sure. I would say that, yeah, the data that I'm putting in here could be being used to train the model. We could always ask the AI. But I know that in Gemini, right here, this enterprise version, all of what I put into the knowledge base is in here and the like. Because it's my enterprise version, it stays private within my enterprise. As far as that's what they say, I don't know though for sure. But I know that it tells me that whatever I have in my knowledge base is in Gemini, because it's the enterprise version that's with my company, stays in my company private. Now, let's say we wanted to create a new gem. Let me just show you this real quick before we wrap it up. We're going to say, create a new gem. We went into Gemini. We went into the gem manager. We landed right here. And now we're going to create a new gem. And now it doesn't give us the create and the configure options. And on this one, we can give it a name. So let's say, I need a gem to help me plan my vacation. So I'm going to put in instructions. I need a gem to help me plan my vacation. And then I'm going to call it Vacay Planner. Now you could type up all of your instructions right in here, put in your persona prompt, because if you notice, I have Mary Marketing also in Gemini, because I get a little bit different responses. Different models work different. Later on, I'll have another workshop where I show you how I built some other more advanced chatbots where I have multiple agents working together, and each one of them uses different models. That's a whole nother world. So we're just keeping it simple here. So the Vacay Planner, the instructions, I need a gem to help me plan my vacation. And then you've got that button right there. Use Gemini to rewrite the instructions. I like this. You could even use this as a cheat sheet to build some prompts for yourself that you can use. All right, I don't want to go too far over, but look at this. Look at this. Purpose and goals. Look at that. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And now on this one, I don't know how to have conversation starters. I noticed that the ones that they built, Gemini built, the ones that are built by Google, have conversation starters. On this one, I don't have the ability to do it yet. So now I can go ahead and say, we can test it, or we can just say save. And now this one has, because it's my enterprise version, it has access to my emails and the like. So I could even go in here and type an ad, and I can go into Gmail and say, hey, look at my email from such and such person where they're asking me about taking a trip to Valley of Fire, and help me plan that. But we're not going to do that right now. I'm just going to say, I want to plan a trip to Valley of Fire, Nevada. I went there this weekend. It was pretty nice. Easy hikes, everything easy. Look. Oh, now it's asking me. It sounds amazing. It's a stunning destination. Have you been there before? Nope. And then it should start helping me plan. To help me see, there you go, to help me plan the perfect trip for you. What kind of experience are you looking for? Now, we've got other options when Google Gemini. We can, if it starts giving us these suggestions, we're not really sure if that's really true. We can double check the response right here, and it goes on the internet and it matches where it's getting that information from. We can modify our responses right here, and we can share and export. I can draft an email right from here. Now, this one is because I'm tied to my company. But we could just keep on going here, planning our trip. You get the gist of it right now. But we've already spent an hour. We spent already 61 minutes here. And I've given you all a whole lot of information. There's still Claude projects. There's still the Claude API console, where you've got a way to generate prompt for you. Yes, all kinds of things that we can do, my friends. So, my friends, I hope that this has been very beneficial for you. You've gotten a gist of building your own GPTs. I encourage you, go ahead and get ChatGPT Plus and build your own GPTs and start working with them. And it has increased my productivity. I mean, I'm really happy. I'm really happy. This was the tool that, like, I always knew I needed a certain tool, but I didn't know what tool I needed. And I got all these goals, dreams, and desires. But I always was missing this one little tool to help me achieve that. I was thinking everything was so expensive. I had to hire this team, I hired this, and not anymore. Now we got AI. And it's made everything, a lot of things very accessible. So for like $20 a month this cost me, and the ability to use my own custom GPTs, build my own team, it's amazing. And there's so much more that I can share with y'all. You need some help, I put the link to my calendar. Go ahead and book an appointment with me, and I'll work one-on-one with you to help you do this. I can even build some persona prompts for you that you can use if you want your own Mary marketing. And by the way, here's one more bonus for y'all. I recommend that you go to strategy.getskills.ai, strategy.getskills.ai. And I'm going to give you, thank you for attending today. I'm going to give you Mary marketing. And at strategy.getskills.ai, let me go to, I know you can't see this. Here we go. Strategy.getskills.ai. That's my website for AI for leaders. Let me put it into the comments. There it goes. When you go down to the lower, right over there, lower right-hand corner, right down here, that's the strategy bot. Click on the strategy bot. Let me clear this out. And the strategy bot right here, you can get the Mary marketing prompt, and you can also book an appointment with me right there. So when you go to get the Mary marketing prompt, it's just going to take you to this page where you're going to put in your information and say, send me the prompt, and you're going to get the prompt sent to you, Mary marketing. And then you're going to have Mary marketing, which is my favorite persona. I've been using Mary marketing a lot. Mary marketing, all you're going to do is go to create your GPT. And instead of going to create GPT, you're going to go to configure, because you already have the instructions. And just right in here, paste Mary marketing. And you can change Mary marketing's name, right? You can just, wherever it says Mary marketing, you can change it to whatever you want to call it, Billy marketing or sales Billy or whatever it is, copyright Steve, whatever. And there's the persona prompt already that you can use. It's my favorite prompt. All you got to do is copy it and paste it right in there. You can edit however you want, or just use it like it is. And you've got yourself a really killer persona. All right, my friends, it's been great. I want you to know that I love you, and I want you to keep on learning. And most of all, don't get mad. Get yourself some skills. Aloha.